jazz musician, passed away today, May 25th, at his home in Woodstock, New York. He was 95.
The jazz world is mourning in deep emotion as new updates surrounding the funeral arrangements for Sonny Rollins continue spreading among musicians, supporters, and legendary performers across the globe. For generations of jazz lovers, Sonny Rollins represented far more than a saxophonist. Through fearless improvisation, emotional storytelling, and revolutionary creativity, he became one of the defining voices in modern jazz history, an artist whose influence shaped decades of music and inspired countless musicians around the world. Now, supporters are preparing for one final emotional farewell as family members. Jazz legends, close friends, and longtime admirers reportedly continue organizing memorial and funeral gatherings honoring the extraordinary musician's life and legacy. According to individuals connected to the arrangements, private funeral and memorial updates are expected to include intimate gatherings involving family members, fellow jazz performers, and musicians who spent decades sharing stages and history alongside Sonny Rollins throughout his legendary career. Several emotional tribute performances are also reportedly expected as musicians prepare to honor Rollins through the music that defined his life. But among all the emotional discussions surrounding the memorial plans, one tribute especially has captured attention from jazz supporters online. The stunning tribute connected to McCoy Tyner and his unforgettable musical connection to Sonny Rollins. For many jazz supporters, the relationship between Sonny Rollins and McCoy Tyner represented one of the most respected artistic connections in modern jazz history. Both musicians carried extraordinary influence within the jazz world, and their collaborations created unforgettable moments that shaped generations of performers afterward. As emotional tributes continue circulating online, supporters have revisited old recordings, performances, interviews, and concert footage featuring the legendary musicians together. Many fans describe the musical chemistry between Rollins and Tyner as spiritual, fearless, and emotionally transformative. One especially emotional tribute moment reportedly came during a memorial reflection, where musicians revisited performances showcasing Tyner's powerful piano alongside Rollins' unforgettable saxophone sound. According to attendees and supporters following the memorial updates, portions of the tribute reportedly left audiences completely silent with emotion. Several fans online described the musical tribute as absolutely breathtaking and one of the most emotional jazz memorial moments ever shared publicly. Another supporter wrote, "Listening to McCoy Tyner and Sonny Rollins together now feels completely different emotionally." Similar reactions continue spreading across jazz communities worldwide. Meanwhile, supporters outside memorial venues and jazz clubs have continued gathering quietly while revisiting Sonny Rollins' recordings throughout the week. Candles, vinyl records, handwritten tribute notes, and flowers have appeared outside several music venues connected to jazz history as fans honor one of the genre's greatest legends. Inside the memorial gatherings, emotional photographs and tribute displays reportedly continue showcasing different stages of Sonny Rollins' remarkable life. From his early years redefining jazz through revolutionary improvisation to later performances where audiences stood in awe of his emotional depth and musical brilliance. For many musicians attending the gatherings, the emotional pain feels especially deep because Sonny Rollins represented not only technical greatness but artistic freedom itself. Several younger jazz artists reportedly reflected on how Rollins inspired generations to play fearlessly and express genuine emotion through music rather than simply chasing perfection technically. One particularly emotional moment reportedly came when musicians performed soft instrumental interpretations of classic Sonny Rollins compositions, while photographs from different decades of his career appeared across memorial screens. Several attendees were reportedly seen quietly crying during portions of the tribute performance. Supporters online especially reacted emotionally to conversations surrounding McCoy Tyner's connection to Rollins, because both artists symbolized an era where jazz constantly evolved creatively through courage, experimentation, and emotional honesty. One fan commented online, "When legends like Sonny Rollins and McCoy Tyner played together, it felt bigger than music." Another wrote, "That generation changed jazz forever." Similar emotional tributes continue flooding social media as supporters revisit old live recordings and classic performances involving the legendary musicians. Outside the formal funeral updates themselves, jazz stations and music programs worldwide continue honoring Sonny Rollins through tribute broadcasts, extended recordings, documentary clips, and emotional interviews revisiting his extraordinary impact on music history. Several musicians also continue sharing personal memories connected to Rollins privately away from the spotlight. Many describe him as thoughtful, disciplined, spiritually focused, and endlessly devoted to musical growth throughout every stage of life. Others reflected emotionally on the humility he carried despite becoming one of the most respected figures in jazz history itself. As funeral and memorial plans continue unfolding, supporters worldwide admit the emotional reality of losing Sonny Rollins still feels difficult to fully process. For decades, his sound represented creativity, courage, freedom, and emotional truth within jazz itself.